It's the Rob and Nick Show.
Good evening.
What is going on, people?
How's everybody doing today? This is the Rob and Nick Show right here on MTR Radio. 609-910-0687 if you'd like to call in. We got a lot to cover tonight in a short amount of time. Isn't that right, Nicky boy?
Ton to cover.
Well, how's everybody doing tonight? So before we get on the Mets, I know we got a special caller calling in very soon.
Yes.
How's everything been? How's your week?
I've been in a mourning period. My Mets did lose the World Series.
Well, you know, can't win them all.
No, they couldn't even win 3.
Or 2.
Or 2. No, they couldn't even do that. No, I've been good. Can't complain. Pretty good week. Apparently, even though it's November, the weather's still going to stay July. So
yeah, it's like 75 degrees outside. It's great.
Yeah.
No need for a coat.
The thing that sucks is in the morning, it's like 40 degrees, so I'll put on a jacket, and then when I'm leaving work, I'm sweating already. I'm like, this is hot. I don't like this at all.
I know. I was sweating today at work using the... Oh, yeah. That'll fall out sometimes. You just got it. Just roll with it. It's all good.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Technical difficulties.
Yeah. Some behind-the-scenes issues here at Simeon and Sirach. So we got your friend, your pal,
my buddy,
the Mets beat reporter for the not Daily Record, from the Bergen Record, Andrew from the Bergen Record, will be calling in shortly to talk about the Mets, talk about his issues with them, possibly how his season went. I mean, I know it's his first year covering them, right?
Yeah, it was first time covering them.
So it's going to be a little fun, exciting interview. So
how's everything with you, bud?
Everything's good. You know? Yeah. So we got him calling in right now.
There we go.
All right. Andrew.
Yeah.
Hey, how's it going, man?
Pretty good. How about yourself?
Good. Everything's going swell.
What's going on, Andrew? How you been, bud?
Good. It's been a few days since the Mets lost, so I'm feeling a little bit better.
Literally what I just said.
Yeah. How have you been recuperating?
Lots of beer.
So for the listeners out there, this is actually one of my childhood friends. Me and Andrew grew up together, and the last time the Mets were in the World Series, I think we were in 4th grade. And then who would have thought, like, the next time they were in the World Series, he would actually be covering them. So I figured I'd get him on the show and see what he has to say about what it was like covering one of his favorite teams.
Yeah, how'd that go down?
Well, I actually don't cover sports. It sort of fell into my lap, quite honestly. They knew I was a big Mets fan, and they had the normal beat writers covering the team, but they sort of wanted a Mets fan kind of series of stories, and they kind of let me run with it. They knew I was a rabid Mets fan, so who better to tap into what all those crazy Mets fans are thinking than a crazy Mets fan himself. So it was pretty cool, getting to cover a team that, has given me so much heartbreak, and to be there when they're, on the verge of something amazing. It was pretty awesome for me, kind of like a childhood dream come true. I mean,
and what was the atmosphere like? Because I mean, I've gone to City at least like 2-3 times a year since it's opened, and I actually went to the NLCS game, the first game that they had at home. And that place was rocking. I can only imagine what it was like for a World Series. The one takeaway that I had from it is it's the first time I was watching a Mets game in the stadium, and when something amazing happened for the Mets, I didn't fear that the stadium was going to crumble to pieces.
Yeah, it's a little different than Shea Stadium. It was crazy. It was. The only word I could think of when I was there is like, this place is like bonkers. You could tell that every single Mets fan that was there just had this pent up excitement that they had been waiting to unleash for so long, and then having the opportunity to do so. It was so weird because like we were in the press box that they put us underlings, not the ESPN folk, and was where the the Acela Club is in Citi Field, so it's out in left field where that giant glass is.
Yeah.
So, we had this pretty, panoramic view of the stadium, and when I tell you that it was a sea of orange and blue, it was something I'd never seen before. I'm used to going to Citi Field and paying, $5 for a ticket, and the place is empty. And
well, it was the funniest.
You could hear a pin drop, but it was insane.
When I went to the NLCS, it was the back of my seat, and then I was looking at LaGuardia. So I was all the way up there, and I paid, I think, like 50 times the regular amount that I've paid to watch a game from that seat, and I loved it. I loved it. It was freezing too. It was absolutely cold.
Yes, it was. One day I only came with a light jacket and froze my ass off. And
well, don't they have windows in those press boxes? No, you guys aren't in like the nice press boxes.
Well, when I was inside, it wasn't so bad, but I had to, interview fans, so
right.
I was, outside of the stadium before the game, and it was freezing, and then I had to file my stories fairly early into the game, and it's kind of weird. I'm used to going to a game, and it's kind of loud, and you're screaming, and I'm sitting in a press box. I can't really do that. I have to have some sort of guise of being neutral.
Yeah, exactly. Speaking of, what was it? What was it like writing? Because anybody listening right now, Andrew is a diehard fan. What was it like having to write pieces? And I can imagine that like you had the backspace sounded too much like a homer.
Oh yeah. It at first, I swear, the first one I did, I kind of like sat there and was like, "Holy crap, what am I doing right now?" After a while, I just sort of, was able to sort of write a story about fans, and being one myself, it really, kind of just flowed. I was feeling pretty much the exact same way all the fans I interviewed. So
that's awesome.
I could kind of draw off of my experience as a fan and use that as the sort of, backbone of the story, and just use everyone else as sort of the quotes that kind of give it life.
It was still surreal to me anytime I saw you like tweeting a picture like live from the press box or right outside Citi Field. My first thought was lucky bastard, and the second thought I was like, that's still so cool. Like you're still the only verified account that follows me, which is awesome. And then seeing all those pictures, it was awesome. It was like I was 9 years old again, and I was getting like that much excitement from the Mets. So going into it now, what do you see with the team right now, specifically Murphy and Cespedes deal? What do you see how do you see that situation playing out?
They're both gone. The passionate fan in me would love both of them to stay just because of everything that they've done. But the cold, calculating Mets fan that has been born out of the Sandy Alderson era says they should probably not come back.
Yeah.
Look, we wouldn't have been, it would have been much harder to get to the World Series without Cespedes. I won't say we wouldn't have made it, but it would have been much more difficult.
Yeah.
And just missing that giant bat in the lineup is going to sting. But at the end of the day, I don't really think that he's going to be worth the, $100+ million for 7 years that he's going to end up getting. And, we're already regretting the David Wright contract, and we did that out of heart. So,
I know.
I see the reasons for it not happening, but there's also a part of me is just like, but come on, like all those home runs.
That August was unbelievable. That Cespedes August, I called it the August Cespedes. That's what I kept calling it. It was awesome. It
was a Cespedes for the rest of us.
Exactly. It literally felt like every at bat was appointment television. I was like I would be watching the game with my dad and be like, this one's going out of the park.
Yep. And then it would be.
Yeah, I know. And
it's crazy.
I think like 33% of the time, that's what he was like he was batting like 333 at that time, and 33% of the time, I'm like, no, this is getting right out of the park.
So, do you think you're going to be back there next year covering the Mets, or is it just kind of a one and done thing?
Well, I'd be happy to do it. I guess we have to get there first.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So right now I'm kind of taking it as this could, as a Mets fan, I kind of understand it could be a once in a lifetime experience.
What I just said. The last time they were in the World Series, we were 9, and then we had to get to be 24 to see it again.
How do you feel about the Collins signing that extension?
I have mixed feelings about Terry Collins. There are certainly some boneheaded decisions he makes, and somebody at work just said to me today, oh, Matt Harvey won Comeback Player of the Year. He also was the runner-up for Manager of the Year.
Yeah. Oh man.
But I think that he's a solid manager. He clearly connects with the players on this team. And, I don't think it's time to change, but if he struggles and the team struggles, I would not shed a tear if they made a change.
I am in the same boat. Now, free agent wise, how do you see this team going? What direction do you think they're going to go in? Like, I know Alexi Ramirez is on the market, and I hope to God they don't overpay for Alexi Ramirez just to feel like a shortstop. Would actually want them to do something meaningful, not just make a signing just to make a signing, like 2001 to 2003 when we got like Jeremy Burnitz and Mo Vaughn and all of that.
Oh God.
Like I want them to make like meaningful signings. Do you see this team doing it? Because I was listening to the press conference yesterday, and Sandy actually sounded like the first time he sounded like a GM who's been given like the keys to the castle. He was saying we can't ride this starting five rotation. We need to actually get offense. Do you see him doing this in the offseason, or do you think it's just a couple cliches being thrown at us right now?
Well, I think it could be a little bit of both. I am optimistic, but at the same time, I will believe it when I see it. And I don't necessarily think that's Sandy Alderson. I think that if he had the keys to the castle and had a big market payroll, he might not be a Yankees kind of spending, but he would spend some money. He understands that you have to spend some money to win.
Something.
However, if looking at this offseason, I think that there are two names that I would go after. One is a free agent that you'd spend the money on, and another one's a trade.
Okay.
I think the biggest issue for us is making a lockdown bullpen.
Yeah.
After watching all those games in the World Series, I firmly believe that a bullpen would be a good idea. We already got a great closer. You can't really blame him for what happened in the World Series, except for the first game.
He gave up like 3 runs on only 1 hit in all of his blown saves. It's unbelievable.
Ridiculous. I think, and we all know that Sandy Alderson does not really like defense. He thinks it's not that important.
Oh, yeah.
So if I'm him, I think Darren O'Day is probably the name I'd go after first to lock down that bullpen.
He's a setup man, correct?
Yes, he's had an ERA of under 2.5 for like the last 4 years or something like that.
Yeah.
And he's not a closer converting to a setup man. He's a setup man.
Yeah, I mean, but I feel like the last real true setup man we had was JJ Happ and Ish.
So yeah, he'd be the person that you're going to have to spend some money, but you know what? It's worth it for you suddenly the game's 7 innings, and with our starters 6 or 7, it makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And then the other person, I think, I haven't really heard a lot of this, but I've seen it around on the internet, the intertubes. Charlie Blackmon, the center fielder on the Rockies, I think would be an excellent fit. He's, got a little bit of pop, high average, OBP, steals some bases, kind of fits into that, Alderson way of hitting. I think that he'd be a good fit, and it might take a little bit, but we've got some players to trade. Maybe Plawecki, maybe Montero.
Is Montero even still on the team?
Needs to be a godsend.
Oh my god! Listen, Neese actually did a pretty good job in that bullpen this postseason. I agree.
I did not expect it at all.
No, neither did I. It makes sense though, because like he was like he'll get you to 5 innings and implode kind of guy. So I think the best way to solve that was just make him pitch 2. So
I agree. Hey, you know who else surprised me in the pen? Bartolo Colon. I'd almost sign him to pitch in the pen permanently.
I mean,
he could pitch till he's 50.
If he started a religion, I would follow it. That's how much I love Big Sexy.
Oh, he's the best. I was just gonna ask about him if you want to re-sign him next year.
I would. He's going to be less than the $11 million he made this year. I say why not? He starts half the year. Wheeler comes back. You throw him in the pen. You see he can do it really well. He throws a bunch of strikes. I think it's a worthwhile gamble. I mean, what is it going to be, 43? I'd love to see how long this guy can do it. He's so entertaining to watch, and frankly, I'm going to miss seeing him hit.
Oh, he's the sexiest man on the team.
When he fell down in the when he was walking to the
my god,
in the what was that, the NLDS?
Yeah, the NLCS, when he was walking back to the clubhouse, and he just slipped. Like, it wasn't even like a subtle movement. He just went.
And Cologne gave us that wonderful GIF of him shaking his belly. So how can we say goodbye to that?
And then the backflip too. That was awesome when he just flips it right behind his back. Like, he is such an athlete. Like it's funny because like he doesn't look like an athlete, but he's like deceivingly one of the best athletes on the team. He's unbelievable. I love him, and I hope he has my babies.
Well, Andrew, you plugging anything tonight?
Excuse me?
You want to plug your Twitter or anything like that tonight?
Yeah. I mean, if you like to follow somebody who has ridiculous amounts of Mets opinions mixed with local news from the Pascack Valley,
and
then I'm that person. So it's at Andrew Wyrick, and I love talking about the Mets, as Nick knows. So shoot your opinions at me, and I will definitely respond because I get 18,000 notifications, and I will definitely see it.
Oh, man, I appreciate it. All right, Andrew, thanks a lot, man. Thanks for your time.
Yeah, thanks a lot, man.
Thanks for having me on.
Have a good one. All right. Well, that was fun.
That was fun.
First little interview.
That was Andrew Wyrick with the Bergen Record. He's you can follow him at Andrew Wyrick on Twitter, and I'm telling you, he's an awesome follow, and he's my only verified follow, so I kind of feel important with him following me. So there's that.
Yeah. Well, let's go to a quick break, maybe like a minute.
Yeah.
So
we'll be back.
We'll be back.
Here on MTR, we're kicking down the door of Sports Talk Radio. Hey guys, it's Craig from Sirius Sports Talk. You can listen to me every Monday and Thursday at 5 o'clock. I'm going to bring you everything you need to know about the world of sports, including baseball, football, hockey, basketball, anything, even timber sports. You name it, I got it. Need help with your fantasy football? I got the answers to your questions. Situational. Hit me up on Twitter at Sirius Sports Talk and go and like my Facebook page, Sirius Sports Talk. Changing your radio experience every second you listen. MTR.
Are you tired of your dead-end job? Sick of hearing the so-called gurus telling you what you already know about your favorite sport? Maybe you have a passion for writing or filming. Yes. Connecticut School of Broadcasting is the place for you. An institution that's been around for over 50 years, CSB gives you hands-on, learn-by-doing training in months, not years. What? We've placed thousands in broadcast media, with 12 campuses along the East Coast. Learn from instructors who are in the industry. In a few months, you can be employed behind the scenes in television, doing audio or visual production work, or sitting down to your new career as a radio on-air personality. With small class sizes, use of our studios, and job placement assistance, turn your broadcast and media dreams into reality. Contact admissions to learn more about becoming a student and get information about scholarships and financial assistance. Visit gocsb.com or call 1-800-TV-RADIO. That's 1-800-TV-RADIO to become the star you're meant to be.
Don't need no instructions to know how to rock.
Hey, this is Johnny B. Make sure to check out my show Mondays from 6 p.m. to 7 p.m. and Saturdays from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. where I'll be bringing you the rock from yesterday and today. Make sure to check out my Twitter page at JB_MTR or on Facebook at Facebook.com/JB on MTR Radio.
And I like to rock. I will rock your face.
Radiohead, huh? I like it.
Yeah. Figured we go a little Radiohead today for his birthday. I don't know which one, but one of them's birthday. Brian told me on the way in.
Tom York?
No.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, that's really it. I mean, who cares about that?
Oh, man.
So, 609-910-0687 if you'd like to call in. This is the Rob and Nick Show right here on MTR Radio. How's you doing?
I'm doing good. That was a pretty good interview.
You like that? Yeah, that was great.
I did.
That was great. I like him a lot.
Yeah, he's a good kid.
Seems like a real straight shooter.
Yeah, no, he's awesome. He's really
Some things happened to Ben Carson this week.
It's funny too because last week when we went over the debate,
right?
When I left the booth, I was like, I didn't say anything about Ben Carson, and I think he knew. I think he was listening to our show because Big Ben came out.
Oh, he came out.
He came out of the gate.
He came out.
I woke up this morning and then I'm looking through my Twitter and then all of a sudden I thought it was a joke. I was like, there's no way this is real. I click it and it's real. And Ben Carson dropped the heat.
He really did. You ready for this, listeners?
Everyone be careful because whatever you're going to listen to this might catch fire.
Why isn't it playing? Oh, that's my fault.
And support Ben Carson for our next president and be awesome.
America became a great nation early on, not because it was flooded with politicians, but because it was flooded with people who understood the value of personal responsibility, hard work.
It's too good.
Innovation, and that's what will get us on the right track now.
It doesn't sound like he doesn't sound like he even signed off on this. It just sounds like someone just edited this to be a rap song for
but
him.
he signed off on it because at the end it's paid for by Ben Carson.
I'm very hopeful that I'm not the only one who's willing to pick up the baton of freedom.
The baton of freedom.
Freedom is not free and we must fight for it every day.
Every day.
Every day.
Every day.
Every one of us must fight for it because we're fighting for our children and the next generation.
Oh, God. Get America back on track. We gotta vote Ben Carson. A matter of fact, go out and vote.
I'm Ben Carson, and I approve this message. Paid for.
In 2016. Vote and
Bars. Bars. I love it. So. Bars. So obviously the one big takeaway I have from this is there's no way Ben Carson met the rapper who did this.
No,
there's
definitely
no shot.
not.
There's
Hello, Sonny.
Yeah, there's not. What is this hippity hop you've listened to? There's no shot. My favorite thing is the beat actually kind of I'm calling right now. By the end of this week, by the end of the weekend, there's going to be maybe 8 different remixes to that beat alone.
Yeah,
it's got the Timberland flutes in there and everything like that. It sounds like an expertly produced track.
It's not bad. I'd listen to it.
And they got Ben Carson talkovers on it, he's Diddy, on the victory track. it was awesome. And I when I was reading when I found out to confirm that it was real, I was reading up on it and it's in an attempt to get African American voters.
It's I'm down to get jiggy with it.
And I'm pretty sure a couple months ago Ben Carson literally said that he feels the cause of turmoil in this world is hip hop is the genesis of it. And then he's like, you know what? I need to get this for my campaign.
I mean, I love it. I think it's a great way to, show a little difference.
I mean, and then he's the baton of freedom. Freedom isn't free. he sounds like Bono, just talking during Bullet the Blue Sky. It was awesome. And then I think something came out today too that he admitted that he stabbed a friend of his or something.
Ben Carson.
This is not presidential candidate Ben Carson. This is Ben incarcerated. I think that's what his street name is.
Oh yeah, definitely.
I'm just guessing.
Yeah.
I mean, Ben, if you need anybody to give you street names, holler at your boy Nick.
I got some cred.
Oh my God.
Well, so Halloween was this weekend.
Yeah, perfect segue, Rob. Perfect segue from Ben Carson to Halloween because I want to talk about blackface.
That's why I was glad you brought it up and not me.
I feel like there's no better platform to talk about it than this. So, our friend Will,
yes,
as you know, he texted me on Friday. I'm leaving work and I get a text and he's like, over under 5 people that we see on our timeline wearing blackface. And I said, hammer the over.
Uh-huh.
And that's something amazing to say in 2015. It is 2015. The fact that people still can't comprehend that you're not supposed to wear blackface is mind-boggling to me.
Well, I have a little different take on it.
Okay.
I understand if you're doing it as a racial thing, like, ooh, I want to be a black person today. I'm just gonna put on black makeup. Like, that's stupid. That should not be allowed. But if you're going out on Halloween and say this was like 2009 and you were Tiger Woods and your girlfriend was Tiger Woods' ex-wife.
Yeah.
And you put on a little blackface, I wouldn't mind it. It'd be like, oh, you're Tiger Woods.
Nah. I mean, while I understand where you're coming from and that, it's just the history behind it is like just anybody mimicking a black person is that's a no-go. It's just like the minstrel shows that the genesis of blackface is the minstrel shows where they'd have white people put on the blackface and put on the red lipstick and then just start going around literally trying to eat watermelon. That was what minstrel shows were.
Yeah, we got a phone call on the line. Hello, who's this?
Hey, Weedhead, guys.
Hey,
what's going
how's
on?
it going, man?
What's up, fellas?
Nothing much. Would you? No,
it's
go on.
the Powell's band.
What's that?
AJ Powell's.
Oh, what's going on,
how's
bud?
it going, man?
How you guys doing, bro?
Good. How are
how's
you?
everything?
I saw this on Facebook. I had to call in.
Oh, good. It worked.
Yes.
That's called social platforming.
That's right. You guys are the best. I listen to you every day.
Thank you.
How's everything been, bud?
Good, guys. Good. How are you guys doing? Obviously pretty well. Got your own show going.
Yeah, it's not bad. A little internet radio.
Little fun.
You know?
All right.
How was your Halloween?
Halloween was nice, man. Halloween was very nice. I was Tommy Chong from Cheech and Chong.
Love it.
I like it.
I love it.
Did you see a lot of blackface out there?
Yeah. Blackface was not prevalent at the parties I was at.
Good. You go to good parties then.
But I've seen quite a few pictures. I've seen some whiteface too, though. I'm all about equal opportunity.
But here's my thing with the whiteface defense is I feel like anybody who wears whiteface, they're emulating someone who's so powerful. You know what I mean? Like when they say everybody brings up white chicks, they had to dress as those white chicks to get into that Hamptons club to be accepted in that.
That's true. That's a fair point. And I'll be honest, that white chick costume that was all over the internet was hilarious.
Oh yeah, when Iggy Azalea dressed up as that, I was actually really happy because she could take a joke, I guess.
But I feel like it's kind of the same these days with blackface. No, I mean, nobody really does it as the minstrel show thing anymore. They do it like athletes.
Well, that's what I'm saying. Yeah, it's kind of, I don't look at it as a racial thing. I look at it as it trying to mimic that person, as trying to dress up as closely as that person as I can.
Right. I couldn't be Dennis Rodman if I didn't do blackface.
Yeah, I mean, you'd just be some weird guy with a bunch of tattoos on his neck and tie-dyed hair. It's just like
they'd think I was a goth or something.
Yeah, or a clown
or Birdman.
Yeah, exactly.
That was a Joker, like John Leto's what his name?
Jared Leto.
Yeah, Jared Leto. That's the one.
Oh man. No, I mean, I just have this whole thing with just the history behind it. I don't know if it's ever going to be something it's accepted. Even if you're portraying someone who's rich and famous, I just feel like the backdrop of it is just it's never been good. It's something I feel like people should just, if you have to think about whether or not it would be accepted, just don't do it.
Don't do it. I kind of agree. I like to push the boundaries as far as possible without crossing them.
Well, that's why we love you, big guy.
Yeah, all right, man.
I love you guys too, bro. I'll catch up with you on Facebook.
All right, man.
Appreciate it, man.
Have a good one.
You too, guys. Later, boys.
All right, 609-910-0687 if you'd like to call in. But yeah, I mean, it's
So here's my thing. So the big blackface story was that teacher from Alabama who I guess they dressed up as Kim and Kanye, and he's a teacher.
Yes, obviously
that's something just think about your professional career. You shouldn't be, if you're a teacher and the whole education platform of how we teach that time period is still very great glossed over.
Yeah.
You gotta think about your situation, your circumstances, and all that.
But also social media. If we didn't have social media to look at this guy in Alabama post a dumb picture as him in blackface, we wouldn't be talking about this right now. So it's a lose-lose because social media sucks.
Yeah, I mean, it does.
It's just like, how the news is getting all their information. It's
I'm
just
pretty
like,
sure we just got a caller via social media, though, so it doesn't suck that bad.
That is true. If you want to call in 609-910-0687, I'm going to keep throwing that number out there.
Should do it.
Yeah.
So I mentioned Will.
Yes.
And Will listened to the first show.
Right.
And he said he'd kill me if we didn't talk Knicks.
Okay, yeah. Hey,
So-
they have more than double their wins as last season?
Yeah, they got 2 right now.
Hey.
And their first, and like, here's the thing. Like, while that sounds like, oh, the Knicks they're 2-3. I think they played 5 playoff teams in those first 5 games. So to start 2-3 is pretty good. Porzingis does not look as bad as everybody thought he was going to look. They posted a stat today that he's already got 40 points and 30 rebounds combined. The last Knicks rookie to do that was some little guy named Patrick Ewing. Which is pretty good, and they're doing this all too while Carmelo is not putting up like a ton of points.
Oh, really? I haven't watched a single game.
No, he has not been playing well. Because he had the shoulder surgery in the offseason. I think he's been trying to get his rhythm back. Mm-hmm. But the team, it's actually a pretty solid bench.
Okay.
The starting point guards right now, the guards are Jose Calderon.
Oh, I know him.
He's awful.
Okay.
And Sasha Vujacic.
Oh, Vujacic. He was on the Nets for a while. I remember him from NBA 2K13.
There you go. I mean, he played well with the Lakers, but he wasn't a starting guard. So Fisher, for whatever reason, thinks that those 2 should be the starting guards. And their backup guards are Langston Galloway and Jerian Grant, who
Didn't Langston Galloway... Oh, he was on St. John's, right?
St. Joe's, Philadelphia.
St. Joe's, okay.
And he was undrafted. The dude led a bunch of he was top 5 in a bunch of rookie categories last year.
Yeah, they brought him on midway.
Yeah, he was playing. He was playing for the Westchester Knicks. He killed it. And Jerian Grant's the rookie that we stole. We traded Tim Hardaway for this guy straight up, and he's been a steal because I don't think Tim Hardaway is anything close to the athlete this guy is. Or his dad, yeah. And they're on. When they're on the court, I think they're like a plus 8 or something like that. And they play great defense. Their chemistry's awesome. They're going to eventually start. I think Fisher doesn't trust them quite yet. They're going to eventually start. And until he does that, though, Fisher's an idiot.
You know what I think about all this?
What's that? Ben Carson. Ben Carson hasn't seen an NBA game since Larry Bird was the best player in the league.
But moving away from sports a little bit.
Yes.
Sorry, Nick.
No problem. That was for Will. I needed to do that for Will.
Right. Bill always deserves a little Knicks, even though I just don't have any respect for the kid at all. Hateful Eight, the new Hateful Eight.
Oh yeah, so,
trailer dropped today.
This is digging right into Will because Will hates Tarantino. So this is a beautiful setup right now.
I love it.
It looked awesome.
It looks great. I can't wait. I mean,
when I first read it, because there's so much controversy surrounded around the movie. Remember, like the screenplay leaked, and then
right.
Tarantino's like, I'm not doing this. I'm not going to do it. And then he's like, I'm just going to make this into a book. And then I think he realized he wasn't going to get even half the money that he would have if he made it into a book. So they put out a new trailer today, and it looks awesome.
It looks great.
Like, the premise of it is so cool.
Yeah.
Like Bruce Dern is going to be like he's a killer in it, and it's Bruce Dern, like his old little fat body.
Well, I read something that it's going to be a lot more like Reservoir Dogs, where it's focused in one area. Yeah. Just like, that whole thing. I can't wait.
It looks cool. And like the backdrop of it, I think he filmed it in Telluride, Colorado. It looks like it's going to be like and he's shooting it in 8mm too. So, right. Which is going to be cool. Like it just looks like it's going to be beautifully done. One thing you can't take away from Tarantino is his screenplay. Like the dialogue is just always like, it's gripping. Like,
I love you, honey bunny.
Exactly. Like that. It's like, and I'm not even joking. Like stuff like that. Like just like conversational.
It's the teeniest, tiniest stuff that just gets you.
And it's so good. Like if you watched his last one was Django, like the conversation pieces in it, like just the back and forth with the characters, it was so well written and just flowed so nicely. Same thing with like you said, Pulp Fiction, like those diner scenes and
Pulp
everything
Fiction,
like that.
Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah, all the it's
even the Kill Bills.
Oh yeah,
I
love the Kill Bills, man. Those are like some of my favorites.
Who doesn't love the Kill Bills?
But,
yeah, so that's coming out. We got Spectre right around the corner.
So, a little confession. I haven't seen any of the Daniel Craig Bond movies.
Really?
Nah, I haven't seen one. So I think the first one came out in 2006. I think we were in high school when it came out.
Yeah, 2006.
What was it? Casino Royale?
Yeah.
I did not watch it. I didn't.
Her?
I didn't watch it. I pretended I did. I told a bunch of people that I saw it. I was like, oh yeah, it was so cool. And then because I felt like a lame. Like
everyone was just like, yeah,
exactly.
Man, James Bond did. So
here's my thing in general is I never really got into the Bond films. Like it was never like my thing.
Really?
No. I played the video game. I played GoldenEye until like I broke my N64.
Well, everybody did.
I know, but watching the actual movie, I never did that.
Huh.
Yeah, and but I've heard good things. I've heard very good things. I've seen clips of some of them, but I don't know.
I'm telling you, the last one that just came out, Skyfall, is I could keep watching it over and over.
Do you know
again.
who sang the title song for that?
Is it? Does her name
Adele?
Adele. Skyfall.
Oh, she crushed that thing.
Yeah, she really did. That was awesome. But
yeah,
I love the Daniel Craig James Bond.
I've heard good things. So I saw Layer Cake.
Yeah.
So Layer Cake was
Layer Cake's great.
Layer Cake is awesome. So Layer Cake is what got him the gig as Bond. And that's why I was like, oh, no, I'll definitely check out these Bonds. And the thing is, I never did. I never got around to seeing them. And I don't remember ever seeing them like on like the HBOs or Stars or anything like that. They were always on TNT, and I'm like, I'm not sitting through this to watch it through commercials.
Especially commercials.
Exactly. So I just I got to do me a favor, Rob. Buy me all of the Daniel Craig Bond movies. Bring them over to my house, and we'll watch them, and I'll do a quick review on all of them next episode.
We can just skip Quantum of Solace.
Was
There's
it bad?
No need to.
Is that the one where the guy in the background is sweeping and he's not even touching the floor? Have you ever seen?
No. That's Casino Royale.
Okay, so I'm not heavily sold on it yet. Like that's not helping.
Just that guy sweeping.
He's literally like he was sweeping midair. Like
but it's also like, why would you even sweep midair? It takes so much more energy to hold it up than to just put it on the ground.
That's a lesson for life. It takes a lot of energy to hold it up, guys.
Amen to that.
Amen.
609-910-0687 if you'd like to call in. Another show, a show that I started watching, Red Oaks on Amazon Prime.
That's the one where they're working at a country club, right? It's kind of like the upper echelon Wet Hot American Summer.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, exactly. It's like a Caddyshack, Wet Hot American Summer, kind of all wrapped into one. I like it so far. I watched 2 episodes. It's pretty good. It's funny.
Yeah, I saw one episode and it was hilarious, and like I had no idea like the premise or anything like that, and it was just like the situational comedy was great. It was really, really funny. Richard Kind is in it, and anything Richard Kind is in, he crushes. I crack like Unbreakable Kimmy Schmidt, where he was the teacher that wanted to just get fired but live on a pension. Anything he did in Curb Your Enthusiasm.
Yeah. Oh yeah, that guy is hilarious. He's so funny. All right, hello, who's this?
Hey, how's it going? It's Moose.
Hey, what's going on, Moose?
Goose. What's up, bud?
Not much. How about you guys?
Just doing a little radio show.
Oh, well, that's nice. That's nice.
What's up, bud?
I hear you guys talking about movies. I wanted to hear your thoughts on, I don't know if you guys have seen this Star Wars theory with Jar Jar Binks.
Lay it on us, Moose.
I've heard a little bit about it through you.
Yeah, this guy on Reddit came up with this whole thing basically that Jar Jar is basically the ultimate Sith Lord, and that he's been controlling everything, and is basically the reason that Anakin even went to the dark side. It's insane.
Do you think Abram has enough balls to bring Jar Jar back into the series?
I don't know, but if he does, it would make up for a lot of the disappointment in the first 3, I think.
Oh my God. I remember I was 9 years old, and I think like Jar Jar was, he was created to be geared towards like that age demographic. And I remember sitting in the theater being like, this guy sucks. Like, why is this character in here?
Well, I read half of that. And isn't it that all those moves that Jar Jar Binks was doing where he's like fumbling around and all that stuff were actual martial arts moves? And it's just like,
yeah, they're actually based on like a certain type of martial arts that's like believed to be, somewhat Jedi related.
Oh wow,
it's insane. There's like a whole. This guy really spent a lot of time looking into this whole thing. If you get the chance, I mean, like all of like Jar Jar's mannerism,
it really wasn't
and how
long.
they were. It's insane. I'd recommend it.
Well, I remember when the trailer came out, like the most recent one that they premiered on Monday Night Football came out.
Jar Jar Binks was in it.
What? I don't think he was in it, but they the internet went wild. Like they photoshopped just nothing but Jar Jar's face on like all like the characters, and then that Reddit theory came up, and then they had all these other like CGI Jar Jars in the trailer. It was really funny. The theory I read though that actually piqued my interest is that the new Sith Lord is actually Luke.
Well,
yeah, I've heard that.
The Kylo Ren.
Yeah, because
that one I've heard too.
Because Mark Hamill is confirmed to be in the movie, but we're yet to see him actually in any of the trailers other than his voice in the first one. And
but
why would he be? Why would this guy be petting Vader's head and all that stuff? I'm falling for this Luke theory that Luke is the new Sith Lord Kylo Ren, and his extremely hot daughter and this black stormtrooper are going to kill him.
Well, it could be maybe Luke's kid. You know, he's got to be spreading his seed somewhere.
Luke's kid is is supposed to be that chick, the new Jedi.
No, that's Han and Leia's kid.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
I've heard Han and Leia's kid is Kylo Ren.
Oh, really? That would suck.
Yeah.
Which, you know what his name is? Luke.
What?
Kylo Ren. Well, Han and Leia, after they got married, they had 2 kids.
Okay.
They had a boy and a girl.
I didn't know that.
Named Luke and something else. Some girl's name. I don't know. Maybe Leia. Maybe like Lana.
I had no idea.
Yeah.
Was that mentioned in the earlier ones?
All in the books.
Oh, all in the books.
Mm-hmm.
You got to read Wikipedia, Nick.
I gotta update myself on the Wikipedia, obviously.
Hey, little side note. Moose, you coming to Club Bees?
I am thinking about it.
All right, well, you
We'll
should
see you
leave
there.
now.
I don't know.
All right, man.
All right, have a good one.
All right, we'll see you. Yeah, so, I mean, Star Wars is going to be awesome. Already got our tickets.
Oh, yeah, I can't wait to watch it, dude.
Yeah.
It's going to be great.
Ours printed out. I went to go see Bridge of Spies.
Oh, when you swipe the thing, it printed out?
It printed them all out, and I was like, oh my God, what am I doing? Where do they go?
Did we just void our tickets?
Yeah, exactly. And I talked to the guy. He's like, nah, it's been doing that like all day. And yeah, so just keep them somewhere safe. I was like, oh, geez, I got to save these for a month and a half? Like, oh, God.
I've already lost my one notebook. There's no way I'll be able to save the tickets.
It took 10 minutes.
So I'm not going to that theater. So the other movie that's either coming out or came out is Burnt with Bradley Cooper.
Bradley Coops.
He's, I guess, like this high-profile chef who kind of burned out. He crashed and burned on his first restaurant, and he's trying to build back up to getting this 5-star restaurant. And I don't know.
Yeah, I mean, I don't really care.
So I like Bradley Cooper.
I do too, but I don't really care about a chef's like journey, and I hate the way that they talk to each other too. Especially, I mean, this is just a trailer, but it's like, yes, chef, yes, chef. Stop, just talk to me like a normal human being.
I don't not like Bradley Cooper movies, so I'll probably just watch it anyways. Like when Silver Linings Playbook came out, watched it.
Well, yeah, so did I, and I feel like it's going to be like a combination of him in that and Limitless, and then just be a chef and be really mean to people.
Well, that sounds like a pretty good movie then. You just sold me on Burnt, dude. Thanks. I'm gonna go watch it now. I can't wait to watch it.
I should be the spokesman for Burnt.
You should be.
Yeah, but I don't know. It could be good, could be not. I'm not gonna go watch it in the theaters.
The theater? No, actually, I have not seen a Bradley Cooper movie in the theaters. I've always seen them when they come to DVD or on demand.
I saw Silver Linings Playbook
in the theaters.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't. See, here's my thing with that. I love Bradley Cooper. That's how much I hate Jennifer Lawrence. I'm not a fan of her.
You don't like Jennifer Lawrence?
No, I'm not a fan. I feel like she's just too hyped up. Like everybody like wants to rally around like this cool girl, and I've never been about like the super cool girl. I don't. And she's got like a new movie coming out. I think it's called like Alice or something. That just looks so bad. She just looks. I don't know. It looks stupid. But
so you're not a fan of the Hunger Games?
Here's the funny thing about the Hunger Games is I never got into those books because that's not how I roll. I'm a book snob as well.
Right.
Harry Potter. I threw the first one out like after the first like 4 chapters. I was like, this is dumb. This is so dumb. and meanwhile, like everybody in our age group is
Voldemort should win.
Meanwhile, everyone in our age group is like reading them like cover to cover. Like You want to hang out? No, I'm reading Harry Potter.
Yeah.
And then everyone's like going to the movies and watching it. I watched one Harry Potter movie in the theaters. I went with Deriso.
Yeah.
I had no idea what was going on. Like I turned to him. I was like, what's this? Like,
So you're not excited for the prequels?
no, like, I didn't even know what that was. I thought she came out with like a whole new like book series.
Well, that's what I thought too. I thought it was like a whole entirely new storyline, whatever. No, it's just
give it up already, JK, all right? No one cares about this anymore.
like you didn't make enough money from Harry Potter
Seriously.
already.
But the Hunger Games, I tried to watch the movie like 3 separate occasions. Each time I fall asleep, like right when they get to the train and Woody Harrelson's there, like all drunk. I've fallen asleep like right then and there, like each time. Like I haven't gotten past that.
Yeah.
And now I'm seeing like the new trailers and like they're fighting like zombies. I'm like, what is this series about?
Well, that's what I don't get either. It's just
Oh, you didn't read the books?
no, I read the first 2 and then
Okay.
kind of gave up.
Well, how many were there? 3?
3. And then
so
this
you,
one's like
you went 2/3 of the way. You didn't.
Yeah.
Okay, that's weird.
Yeah, just
I
kind of
like, at
lost
that
my interest halfway through,
Well,
and the
you-
movie already came out, so I was just like,
So as well as you sold me on Burnt, that's how much you've sold me on not wanting to watch The Hunger Games.
well, I liked the movies.
Okay.
The second one was awesome. I thought the second one was really good, and then like 3-part 1 came out, and it was just like, all right, this is really boring.
You know what series I've been watching movie-wise that's kind of like that and is based on a book, but I haven't even touched the book? The Divergent series. That was pretty cool. I like that.
You really thought that was good?
I did. I went to the theaters to watch the second one.
Are you serious?
Yeah, I went with my grandma.
Okay.
That's the kind of movie it is, bud.
I mean, that's acceptable, but I don't know. I watched the first one.
Yeah.
That's the one where they're like the boys, they're all boys, and then they get locked in like a maze.
No, that's Maze Runner.
That's Maze Runner.
No, Divergent's the one where like they have like all these different casts, so like different jobs. It would be like lawyers or politicians or bankers or like peasants, and like you go through this test to figure out which caste you belong to. But if you're Divergent, it means you don't belong to one caste. You belong to like multitude of them.
Wow.
Yeah, it was actually pretty cool. And then the girl in it is really cool too. Shailene Woodley or something like that.
Okay.
Yeah.
Well, 609-910-0687 if you want to talk about anything else than Divergent. I'm just kidding. No, but I didn't see that. I saw the Maze Runner. I was confusing that with the Maze Runner.
I didn't watch the Maze Runner.
No?
There's too many of these movies to keep track of.
There really are.
Just way too many. Way too many like teen angsty dystopian hire the hottest girl in Hollywood to play the lead role movies. I don't like them. Now, as hot as those girls are, that's how ugly Jason Pierre-Paul's hand is. Have you seen that thing?
I actually have not.
Oh, the pictures are everywhere. So they're trying to like fit him for like a new glove so that he can like play.
Like a 3-finger glove?
Yeah, like a customized glove. And like today, like the prototype that they showed it looked like the Hamburger Helper glove. Like I'm like, there's no way like anybody's gonna take that seriously. I have no idea what to expect. He's gonna be playing this Sunday, so he's been going like through like all the practices and everything like that, and he's slated to play. I don't know how he's gonna do. I don't know how he's gonna move like a 300+ pound man with 3 fingers.
Yeah, I mean, doesn't it change up his little stance and everything like that too?
That and then when he gets to the quarterback, how is he gonna grab? How is he gonna grab the quarterback?
Well, players, you know, especially defensive ends, have played with like clubs on their hand.
That's true, too, yeah.
You know, I've seen it all. You see like a huge wrapping around him, and then they
That's
just
true.
bash him in the face with it.
I think he's athletic enough to get away with it. I think he just needs to figure out how he's going to play with 3 fingers on one hand. Because like, and it was bad too, because like when he signed back with the Giants, like they had the picture, like he posted a picture on Instagram, and it's like of him signing, and I'm just like, there's no way like that's a legible signature anymore. Like no kid is going to want to get an autograph from him because they're going to like scream and cower in fear.
Yeah, it's he's like oh, what's his name?
Buster?
No. Yeah, Buster. But he's like the guy in Scary Movie with the hand and the mashed
Scary
potatoes.
Movie too. Oh my, grab my strong hand. Was it Tim Roth?
Yeah, Tim Roth.
Good.
Oh, that's great. But we'll see.
We'll see how that goes. I mean, I like him. At least he's on the team, not like Joseph Randle.
Yeah, Joseph Randle's not there anymore.
It's funny, like when they announced that they that they cut him from the team. Like I bet Greg Hardy was just like, "Why did he get cut? Like I don't get what he did wrong."
What happened?
Greg, he he pointed a gun at his wife, and while his son was present. And
I threw my girl on the bed with guns.
Well, what's so bad about that?
I had grenades and everything underneath the bed.
I'm pretty sure he was so confused. Like they had to get like a bunch of people to explain to him why he had to get cut and why you can't speak about it. There's no doubt about that.
Yeah, that's a rough one. Let me tell you.
Yeah, jeez, it was big. It was a big week in the NFL. Kaepernick got benched for what's his name, Blaine Gabbert. The old Jacksonville Jaguar.
Yeah, didn't Blaine Gabbert? Blaine Gabbert must have had like the greatest 20 years of being just a pro football player, because it's just like didn't he grow up in Florida? And then he went to like University of Tallahassee or something like that, or Central Florida.
I think he went to no. You're thinking of Blake Bortles.
Oh, that's who I'm thinking of. Okay.
I think Blaine Gabbert went to Missouri. He went to Mizzou. He was awesome. He was actually a good quarterback. He did not translate well to the NFL, but I guess that's how bad Colin Kaepernick has been.
That's a rough one. I mean,
and that goes back to the demise of this running quarterback, because remember like 3 or 4 years ago, everybody was saying it's going to change the game. You had RG3, you had Russell Wilson, you had
Kaepernick.
Colin Kaepernick, and like Johnny Manziel was in college, like tearing it up, and everyone's like, "This is it. This is the future of the NFL," and not so much.
Yeah. Just the middle, like the linebackers are just too quick. It's just
the linebackers are too. I mean, not even just the linebackers, the defensive ends. The defensive ends can like close the edge so quickly on these guys that they actually have to go to their second and third reads, and they don't know what those are. They're like, wait, no, everything was just one read in college. What's this? I was told there'd be no math on the test, and like that's pretty much like how they're going about it now. And like, look at that. Like RG3 this is his last year in Washington. There's no way
this is his last year.
Oh, I don't know about that. I know someone's going to pick him up.
You think so?
Oh yeah, someone's going to need a quarterback.
Be like a Vince Young.
Someone's going to pick him up. I think he had too good of a first year not to be picked up, and he's going to be on the cheap. Someone's going to take him. Someone's going to need a quarterback. Philadelphia needs a running quarterback.
They need something.
They need anything.
Yeah. But
I don't know.
Yeah, big week in the NFL coming up.
Yes.
Big week in college football coming up.
Alabama LSU.
That's going to be a huge game.
So back in college, all the Alabama LSU games, the game of the century, I think our junior year, me and my buddies used to prime, like we didn't even go to class like that week, like because I went to a small Division III school where football really didn't matter. So those were our like games, and we used to it was like party planning committee, like what kind of beer are we getting, what kind of food are we getting, which dorm are we watching this in.
Yeah.
And like the Alabama LSU game, when I saw it was scheduled, I texted my buddy who we used to do that with, and he's got a kid now. So a little different conversation. I was like, hey,
how's your son?
Exactly. I was like, hey, how's the wife? How's the kid? Do you want to watch this game this weekend?
You want to get really drunk with me and watch this game?
Exactly. And he had to respectfully decline. So, Rob, do you want? Oh, you're going to be.
Man.
I know.
I might be back Saturday night.
Yeah, Saturday night.
Saturday night, 8 o'clock.
Do you want to watch a game?
Yeah.
We could do that.
I'll be there. And that's a perfect way to end this great show tonight.
Episode 2 in the books, baby.
Episode 2. What should I call episode 2? Because I had episode. Did you see the YouTube video? I named it episode 1, the Phantom Podcast.
I saw that. I don't know what should we be. Twitter. Anybody who follows this, give us some episode 2 name suggestions, maybe.
Yeah. Or I'm just going to call it episode 2.
Yeah, it's up to you. Ball's in your court, followers. Ball is in your court.
All right. Well, with that, good night, everybody.
Take us out, Remy.